Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we are back at Teamsport North London for a Race Academy session. This is advanced. Yeah, so we are leaving the pit lane now. You just heard my kart make a really loud pop with the exhaust. Doing a brake test now. So in this session I was basically helping Nia improve her lines. So I begin to follow her. She's got a hefty gap with the start, but with this kart here I was very quick. It suited me fairly well, so I was able to just turn in, no oversteer, with just a bit of understeer. As you can see here, the kart just lives with me turning in. I turn in earlier, away from the drain cover, and I would gain lap time. So if you come here to drive, turn in before that drain cover. If you go onto the drain cover itself, you will slide, lose lap time. I would say the only time you should use that drain cover is late in members events, where because that will be gripped up as people are running over it, rubber's laid down on it. So yeah, you can use that drain cover in members events just towards the end of the session. In the Race Academy sessions I will not be touching that drain cover because it is very cold and no one drives before us. So yeah, barely anyone drives before us except for kart testing, which is like 2 hours before. And the Race Academy beginners and intermediates aren't as quick as us, and there are like 3 or 4 kids in it, so it's not very helpful. Most of the time it's just cadets as well. So well, on from that, Nia goes for a move down the inside of Troy, lay on the brakes, clean move, don't see anything wrong with it. Troy bumps me in the rear and I almost put Nia in a wall. I get angry at Troy, of course, because he bumped me. But on the straights, it seemed that I was fairly down on power. I've been told good things about this kart for a long while. Ever since MP Karting told me like how good the kart was, I've always wanted to try it. But I'm not naming names, but a staff member decided to take the car out and make an excuse that the axle was bent on this car. He decided to take the car out himself. He decided to drive it on the members event instead of letting me use it, and he told me that kart 7 was the quickest. It really was not the quickest. It was fairly down on power. It decided to bog down through corners as well, so I couldn't carry any speed through the corners, especially as I'm a heavyweight. There is no chance of doing anything good in that kart. I did a 36.5 in that kart. That was in the members event a couple weeks back. So I decided to give up on that members event. I left halfway through the session, and there's just barely any footage from that session as well because my GoPro is facing down. So moving on from that, I am still chasing down Nia. I told her prior to the session to turn in later to that corner, and she's doing it really well, gaining more time on that exit, and she's coming in tighter through that exit of the corner there. So that is what you should do when driving here. That's also really good. The up ramp entry too, told her to lift off through there because she can carry more speed as she's more aggressive like me. She's more aggressive on turning, which is why I can teach her a lot more. But yeah, this is what she's also picked up as well. The locking up of her brakes through that corner works really well to get your car rotated through that corner, so you can slide through the corner and it will gain you lap time on the down ramp. So everything seems around perfect here. But I believe I go for a move here down the inside. Yeah, I just go for a move down the inside as I wasn't planning on waiting around for too long because I felt this car was good and I could do some good lap times in it. So I signal for us to work together and trying to chase down William now. If you are fairly observant, you can tell that I am moving around quite a bit in the car. It's not that I'm getting bumped from the rear by Nia, it's the fact that I'm leaning to the outwards through the corner for the rotation. If you didn't know, leaning in your kart can gain you some lap time. Leaning to the inside of corners only helps when your kart is understeery. This kart tend to understeer a bit, but I still had enough grip to lean to the outside, so I would get the rotation. As you see here, leaning outwards for the rotation. Also on the down ramp, leaning outwards for the rotation. So that's a quick tip for some of you guys, especially for some of you heavyweights and middleweights out there. Leaning to the outwards can gain you a lot of lap time. Me personally, I do a small lean. I don't lean too much in the car because I think it unbalances my car sometimes, especially here at Edmonton with the up ramp. If you lean too much on your tires to the outside, it just tends to oversteer quite a bit. So that's one thing you don't really want here at Edmonton. You don't really want to oversteer through the corners, as your kart will bog down and you will just be compromised for the rest of that straight. Because this track does have a lot of flowing sections, you really do want to keep your minimum speed up through the corners, as that will gain you the lap time. If you find yourself bogging down the kart, you won't be able to gain as much lap time. So I would say focus on your exit speed more than your entry speed, because entry speed at this track does bog your kart down. That is not ideal. I know it's hard to get out of that habit, but once you do, it'll be much quicker. Here I back off from William and Alex because they're battling really hard and I don't want to get caught up in an incident. But that's better said than done, because, easier said than done, sorry. That is not what happened later in the session. I go for a move down the inside of Adam and something goes very, very wrong. So just wait later in the session for that. But here I'm chasing down Alex. He goes wide on his exit. That is not going to gain anyone lap time. That actually increases track distance too much and you will lose that time there, because if you take the shorter line through there, you are still carrying more speed and you are turning in less, as you can go straighter through the exit of that corner. So don't go wide through that corner exit, as that will lose you the lap time. But if you're being more observant, you will be able to see that I'm turning in much earlier than I usually do. That is going to be my new line from now on. It is a very hard line to replicate. I'm not lying. These aren't exactly my lines. My driving style is sort of being used for some of these lines, but oh wow, I get a huge slam from the rear end there. But these lines are a staff member's line. Yeah, he is probably the quickest staff member at Edmonton. I've got the footage of his driving and I've sort of replicated the lines, so I cut off track distance quite a bit now. I used to do that, but I didn't believe it was quick before, but now I actually do know it's quick. If you perfect these lines, you will be very, very fast. It did take me a long while to replicate these, as it's very hard to teach a sort of understeery driving style. But once you get this driving style down, once you perfect it, you'll be very, very quick. My lap time in this session was a 36.2, so that is fairly quick for a Sunday morning. I've seen people go quicker, but I think the fastest lap time I've seen without oil is a 36.1. That was done by a really, really light person though. So if you guys didn't know, I am a heavyweight. I've got a series coming up soon for the BIKC, heavyweight versus juniors. That is what I'm going to be naming the series. I'm going to be trying to fight my way through to nationals, as my regional place is going to be electric and Warrington is going to be electric too. If you guys didn't know, my local of course is Edmonton. Regionals is at Brighton, so an electric track is going to be fairly equal with the juniors, so I do want to see what I can do. I've only been in an electric kart once, and it wasn't really the best experience as the track was extremely slippery, and it was a very busy track. That was at Capital Karts Canary Wharf. Don't really like that track too much, but yeah, I do sort of like the simpleness of Brighton, and I've heard good things from people, especially the heavyweights, as those guys are very quick around there. I believe the track record around there is done by a heavyweight, so I do stand a big chance at making it to nationals this year. I'm unsure what it's going to be like for Warrington, as they are going electric as we are speaking now, or as I am voicing over right now. They shut last night, so they're going to be shut for quite a few months until the October months, and just sort of a month before the BIKC. So it is going to be a clean, fresh slate for everyone. So it's going to make nationals very competitive this year. I think the top half of the field is going to be fairly competitive, but towards the rear of the field it's going to be sort of spread out more. So we will see when that time comes. I'm not fairly sure if I'll make it to nationals this year. I'm really hoping I do, but that will be known then. But right now is my fastest lap of the session. So this was my 36.2. Person in second is in front of me, Quincy. He got a 36.5 on the exact same lap I did. So here I'm pushing to try and keep up with him, which is why I think I was like making barely any mistakes. But I did also still make some mistakes, because of course when you're pushing you will make some mistakes. But yeah, I'm turning in so much earlier into corners, and it will gain me a lot of lap time. Coming into local finals I have a fair bit of confidence. I'm not really confident in the kart capability though. Hopefully this karts do go with the plan, as we should be getting a new kart by just before locals, like a week or two before locals. I haven't seen anything on the schedule yet for when we get the new karts, so I'm not fairly confident in the kart capability at all, as in the first session I changed karts like 5 or 6 times, so these karts are very inconsistent. This is a very old fleet of karts, so that is also another huge reason on why they are so bad. You will have the occasional rocket kart, and you will have the occasional terrible kart. Here I go down the inside of Adam and I make a huge mistake. I try to go down his inside, but he cuts across, and I believe that was just a lapse of basically patience for me. I lacked a lot of patience coming through that section, as I did want to pass him. So I wanted to chase down a 35 or a 36, which would make me look good going into locals. I've done a low 36, that should make me look decent coming into local finals, as I've set the fastest lap time of this month so far. So yeah, coming into local finals, it's a competitive field, very competitive. I would say top 6 or 7 people are very close together. I'm not going to name names because some people probably don't want their names mentioned, but it is going to be a close one. It's going to be a good video, I'm not even lying. It's going to be a huge video. There's going to be multiple POVs coming into that race as well. I think like the top 5 or top 7 around that, every single one of them have the GoPros. The top 7 in pace, almost all of them have GoPros, so I'm going to try and get almost everyone's onboards for that video, so I can create the best video possible. That video is going to be a vlog style type of video. It's going to be very different to this kind of video here. I will do a voiceover, but it just won't, well, I'm going to add the intro as well, so I won't be doing the intro on the video itself. I'll be doing that externally with my face in it at Teamsport Edmonton itself. and I'll be doing that throughout the BIKC journey. But if you guys want that to be a normal thing now, just an intro, like an intro of me standing outside saying what the format is, what's going down, and everything like that, just tell me in the comments if you want to see that happening. But my first video for that to happen should be BIKC local final. But we are at the end of the session now, so I want to thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more. I am Calum, or K Karting.